just as it looks like we do have a draft.
That's right. We're going to be heading into our draft here. Orange Juicers, you need coaching in the grand finals here in North America for your regional championships. We'll say goodbye to Chef and Kello for a moment. Zoinks, this is going to be a bit of a barn burner.
All right, let's get our grand finals started and crown a North America champion. Zugrug trying to make sure that the only player in the world to be that 3-time North America champion. A few members of Unique Coaching going for that one. And specifically, talking about some of these players, we didn't talk about too much in the preamble, but JL and Roland, the two support players for both these sides, former teammates, are going to be clashing against each other. So very interesting in where they tend to go, especially in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be quite a showdown between these two squads. Two teams full of NA players who have a ton of history. Unique Coaching coming into this season very late. But wow, I mean, what an impression they have made in the past few months in the Unite Championship Series. And then you have the Juicers, you know? When you talk about North America, there are two teams that spring to mind right away. There are your world champs Luminosity Gaming, and then there are the Juicers who many times, and just as we saw today, can take down a team like LG and are a world-class team in their own.
Yeah, you and I had the chance to travel over to Japan for the Asian Champions League, and when we asked some of those players from some of those Asian regions about what teams to be worldwide they're looking forward to playing, or maybe even think are extremely strong, Luminosity would always get brought up, but Orange Juicers was right there. Teams like Nouns and even, of course, Peru at the moment also getting brought up. So a lot of great international talent. We're going to get to see these two teams, a bit of a preview of what could go down at both NAIC and Worlds, to be honest.
Yeah, this is just going to be so incredibly cool. A best of 5 with a possibility of that being reset and another best of 5 in front of us. I have to say, some of the games we've had the opportunity to watch today have just been so dang exciting. Once again, Comfey coming out. Not too many teams playing Sweet Kiss, but we have been seeing it from Unique Coaching, and man, the absolute devastation that move can wreak on your opposing team. If they're just slightly out of position, you catch multiple opponents walking towards you, enamored by the Sweet Kiss from Comfey. It's so difficult to deal with. You saw it in that replay from last match.
Yeah, and that combo was utilized so well with Vin Diesel in that last match, but it did operate around the Zacian quite a bit, being banned away by Orange Juicers. Now, Vin Diesel on this Leafeon is going to have to rely on the Unite move a lot more to capitalize on it, but that's why they have that energy amplifier equipped on the Leafeon, a Pokemon who already unlocks their Unite move quite early, looking to make sure they have as many chances as possible. Because looking at both these compositions, if I'm being completely honest, is actually pretty low damage on both of these sides. I think a Pokemon like Lapras is going to absolutely excel for Orange Juicers, but on the other side, Unique Coaching do have some totally game-changing Unite moves they have access to.
Yeah, no question, right? I think the Lutano pick here of Mewtwo Y is actually really interesting. I wonder if it's specifically because of Buzzwole here on the side of the Juicers. They just don't want to play Inteleon into it, so they're going to play the Mewtwo Y. Well, we're going to find out how it works out here in this game. Orange Juicers, your purple team. Unique Coaching, your orange team. These are your grand finals here for the regional finals in the North America region.
And this, of course, is our first best of 5 of a potential 2. Unique Coaching having the tough task of winning a couple of these against Orange Juicers, a monthly champion, and of course, your former regional champions trying to protect their crown right now. And this is a big push by Unique Coaching.
Wow, this is devastating if they're able to pick up this KO, and they do. It goes straight over to the Magikarp. That's going to become a Gyarados almost immediately. One of the absolute worst things you can do playing into a Carp is give up a massive KO like that. We have a Gyarados above the 9-minute mark, Zoinks.
Wow, Machisel having such an early evolution is massive, and what a big push. Buzzwole needing that level 5 so bad in these early game moments, and on the opposite side, Leafeon having one of the fastest level curves we've ever seen. It's just a recipe for disaster for Orange Juicers.
Down here on the bottom path, we have the two defenders. In the top path, massive bounce right into a Sweet Kiss, just ripping through them. Comfey even picking up a KO right here. Lutano now is Mega Mewtwo Y, pushing forward towards the central area of the Juicer. And so far at the start of this match, absolute domination from Unique Coaching.
I think we're starting to get that answer about momentum come from that loser's bracket? What do we favor a bit more, at least in the couple of minutes we've witnessed in this grand finals? It's feeling like the momentum is on the side of Unique Coaching, but that ever-present threat from Orange Juicers that feels like it never fades is this duo of Flareons and Zugrug having a very solid level curve, but now it's Vin Diesel looking to see if they can get an advantage. Big Sweet Kiss, but a huge stun by Flareons.
Yeah, Flareons with a massive stun right there, almost able to make it out of this fight. We have Lapras continuing to try to defend this goal zone. Lutano making that pretty difficult, and more points raining in from Unique Coaching. Score-wise, 0-106. However, we still have, a somewhat close level when it comes to Alolan Raichu, and its counterpart on the other side. It's one level behind Leafeon. Everywhere else, though, it's absolutely devastating for the Juicers.
Yeah, pandemonium for the Juicers, but just a highlight reel for Unique Coaching, with Chisel diving in, OG losing half their HP bar just from basic attacks. Add a Unite move to that. Leech Life gonna bring them back up a little bit, but that goal zone break is all they were looking for. Unique Coaching with 130 points in the scoreline. Orange Juicers stuck them donut.
Yeah, really tough for the Juicers right now. They are very far behind here. They need to get back online in a big way. I mean, you have the Suicune almost the exact same level here as the defender on the side of Unique Coaching in that bottom path. Zugrug now 6. No Unite moves for the Juicers. To be fair, no Unite moves for Unique Coaching because Leafeon has already used theirs, but they should get that back pretty quick as we have a fight getting ready to break out in the top path right now. Multiple members of the Juicers are actually fighting up there looking for the objective, and they do secure it.
Okay, so finally a silver lining emerges for Orange Juicers. Great eject button tech by OG to smack down the opposite direction. Leech Life onto the Comfey that falls, and Regieleki will land in that goal zone. So a few knockouts and a few points more as Orange Juicers catching up in that part of the game.
Orange Juicers desperately needed this fight. Oh boy, it looks like Roland not able to get out of there on time. Vin Diesel gonna pick up a KO right here. However, they might pay for it, and they do. Flareons gets one back the other way. Lutano right now dancing around this Suicune. It's possible, no, I was gonna say, I don't think Suicune can take it down. Just too much HP on Mewtwo Y there.
Yeah, tough look in that situation, but able to trade a knockout the other direction. I don't think they can be too upset about that. Flareon's having a few fantastic moments so far in this game. A lot of Unite moves prepped and ready to go for the side of Unique Coaching. Orange Juicers do have a couple to answer, though.
Yeah, Regirock goes down here to the Orange Juicers. Pretty easy secure. Vin coming in, trying to make something happen. You're not really looking to Sweet Kiss the Lapras. It already wants to be right next to you, right? Zugrug moving forward right here, catching with the Bubble Beam and continuing to push. Unite move now unlocked for the Lapras as we have Machisel in this bottom path. Snorlax getting taken down there by the Suicune.
Yeah, big first KO does make it tougher for Vin Diesel, and I want to mention just the power of that energy amplifier. Leafeon already having a Unite move. Again, I think we can basically assume it'll be showing up every single fight as one is raging onto the enemy central area, and it's Flareon's picking up a casual two-piece in that one, but it's Gyarados avoiding all of that Alolan Raichu Unite move as it dives underwater with the Dragon Currents, but it won't fall far as OG takes it down.
Yeah, really nice stuff here. You could see the Eldegoss riding on top of the Lapras right here as they are chasing down Lutano, pushing that Mewtwo Y back. Nice Bubble Beam catches too. Comfey not able to attach to anyone just yet. OG in a little bit of trouble right here, but some really nice saves by the squad. Somehow, by the way, the Juicers are back in this match that looked so unbelievably bad to start.
Yeah, I think Flareon's probably the man responsible for a whole lot of that on their Suicune. Not only a knockout on the top side, but a great defense around their own central area Pokemon. Kind of punishes Unique Coaching for some over-aggressiveness and makes sure that not only are they getting their own value, protecting their own camps, but also knocking out the opposing team.
Here we can see them just ripping through Regieleki. This one is going to be kind of free for Unique Coaching right now. There is no one from the Juicers here to do anything about it. We've got the Buzzwole just getting some experience in the top path. A few members of the Juicers ready there to possibly defend, while multiple Juicers are also dealing with Unique Coaching here in this bottom path. With both of these goal zones up, Zoinks, there's a lot of experience that is still spawning between these 2 points that you need to fight over.
Yeah, it's called the 5 enemy team members, and that is exactly what Unique Coaching is diving on, as they do finally get a good kidnap on Zugrug with that block, separating them from the rest of their teams, and honestly, more importantly, blocking Zugrug from supporting the rest of their team in the back line. Psychic does land on Vin Diesel, but they have so much mobility, they're able to avoid a lot of the other attacks, but Chisel trying to hunt for a final hit on the Alolan Raichu with the Dragon Breath out of range. Huge Super Swole Slam to cut him off, and OG just feels like they're finally finding a way to match up against this Gyarados.
Yeah, really great stuff. Honestly, Kratos getting out of that fight is absolutely criminal. I cannot believe Raichu made it out of that somehow. Massive moment here from the Suicune, almost picks up 2, but here comes Mewtwo Y to push them back.
Yeah, all starts with the Mewtwo Y Unite move as well, stunning multiple targets, allowing them for a little bit more freedom to move around. Sweet Kiss Kofi plus the bounce, pulls in 3 targets at once. So devastating, but what a response by Flareons. Freezing everybody, but it's JL on the Comfey that takes out this Regice. Pandemonium in the bottom side of the map.
This fight is just still raging on. The Sweet Kiss grabs another 2. Flareon's enamored through the bush right there, actually walking towards the side of coaching. What a crazy fight between these two squads. I mean, everyone surviving on just a razor thin amount of HP for so long, and then you need coaching moving in with a perfect Sweet Kiss, catching 3 members of the Juicers.
Some hero plays throughout that engagement, right? I talked about the Mewtwo Y stunning and kind of saving a few targets, even though OG had a great Buzzwole engage, kind of caught in their tracks by the attack from space, and then Flareons with the response, freezing so many targets, and wow, what an engagement there. If that is anything that we can look forward to for these final Ray fights, we're going to be in for a great time, Spraggle.
Yeah, well, speaking of this final Ray fight, this is going to be your first one here of your grand finals. In about 10 seconds, Rayquaza hits the map. You have Vin Diesel and Oogway, aka Joey, getting some good information here. They can see Zugrug. It's not really the target you're looking for. Is Kratos able to put some good damage onto the Mewtwo Y? Zug is going to get healed up a bit, but take a look at Machizel, this Gyarados, just getting ready to pounce and move towards the enemy team. However, Leafeon caught, and this is massive for the Juicers.
Yeah, Vin Diesel having no backup, no Comfey to support them, and no Snorlax to try to block them away. So now it's going to be up for Machizel. Big engage, heavy slam.
Whoa.
The Infinite Cyburn hits a few targets, but again, Flareons with a great response. OG in a tough spot, but they're still at full HP. Machizel is targeting down that Buzzwole.
Machizel just continuing to move forward here. OG in a lot of trouble. The side strike knocks him up. Zugrug with a huge Lapras Unite move right back the other way. It's 2 members down for the Juicers, 2 for You Need Coaching, but Leafeon just came back to the fight, ready to go with a Unite move, and they can push forward right here. They're also up on the scoreboard, so they don't need to be the one to make the play right here.
Yeah.
But with a player advantage, you might want to press forward, and they do. They're looking for Roland. Roland peels back away from this fight. We have Zugrug making it to level 13. Buzzwole Unite, Alolan Raichu Unite for the Juicers. Only the Leafeon Unite for coaching, and here they go!
Okay, Zugrug does get behind them, but of course that Sweet Kiss is setting up some huge plays. Snorlax trying to block it, stall time, but then Alolan Raichu Unite move doing so much damage. In the meantime, they picked up 2. They dodged the KO yet again. Kratos, Immortal, and picking up 3 KOs. All in the meantime. Suicune on the bottom side, they do go down, but they enable a play towards that back goal zone. Problem is, Orange Juicers still trailing. OG attempting to score on the top side. No one can respawn in time. That's going to be a huge dunk. Double dunks for OJ.
What an amazing play right there. The 96 right into the 100. Zugrug putting pressure on that bottom goal zone. They had the opportunity to take down Rayquaza, but with Lutano there, the safer play. Split in that moment. Guarantee that one of these goals comes in and that they can win that fight. Incredible Ray fight from these two teams. And look at that Ray HP. Looking pretty healthy.
I love this game so much.
Dude,
I love this video game.
it's so good. Only up by 70 or so, which means a back cap gets them close. You know, just one mistake in the fight gets them close. And then you have to wonder, you know, should you be more aggressive in this moment, or should you kind of zone out and find what your opponents are doing? Unfortunately for You Need Coaching, that ended up meaning that Leafeon gets caught.
Yeah, tough situation for them to deal with. But with the game lost, You Need Coaching has choice of draft side, and are going to choose that first pick position and head into this game with a Blissey and a Gyarados ban. Orange Juicers answering with Psyduck and Zashi.
Yeah, I wonder if the Gyarados ban is targeted towards, you know, OG possibly right now. I have not seen OG run a lot of Gyarados, but with OG, with Gyarados being banned and then Zacian on the other side, it does mean that they get to take something like Suicune. And I guess they're not too worried about whatever OG was going to take. Next couple of picks over here to the Juicers.
Well, it could be that, or you could be kind of calling Orange Juicers on a bluff and saying you're not going to first pick an OG selection. So you could try to grab Buzzwole in your second set of choices for You Need Coaching, but no longer an option, as Orange Juicers will, in fact, grab their top path Pokemon alongside Zugrug's Lapras.
Yeah, this Lapras has just been such a huge pick Pokemon for a lot of these top teams. You can see its pick rate, only 11%. So these teams that are making their way to the grand finals, they know something that the rest of these teams do not, clearly. Next couple of picks over here to You Need Coaching. They are going to take that Alolan Raichu and the Snorlax. I would not be shocked to see, yes, Flareon's on Inteleon. The thing about Inteleon here, it is so great at dealing with Alolan Raichu and Suicune. Completely out of range of these Pokemon.
Look at how confident Orange Juicers are that they will likely be getting a Hoopa pick within this draft. Like, the 2 support picks being banned away, and they are going to wait all the way until the end of the draft. That is so counterintuitive to what we have seen throughout the entirety of this tournament. So much pressure, but it's JL going into yet another new support pick. Actually, surprisingly, a 12% pick rate. Did not expect that. The final selection for Orange Juicers will likely be this Hoopa to allow some nasty trick shenanigans.
Yeah, I think Hoopa is a really incredible choice here. And I think that, like you said, they knew they were going to get it. There may have been some discussion on You Need Coaching as to whether or not they actually wanted to switch that for a Hoopa kind of last moment here. But they have a strategy that they are looking to implement here with Clefable. A Pokemon that, admittedly, we don't see a lot in the Championship Series. Incredible heals, team-wide oftentimes. I mean, you have that, Moonlight aura that is very, very strong. However, if things get burst down a little quickly, Moonlight's on a decent enough cooldown that you might only get 1 heal in some of these fights, and it has it has the most unpredictable Unite move in the entire game.
Yeah, it can be wild. We have seen a whole lot of player tweets post-events about how they rolled block at Rayquaza, right? So we might see a little bit of that. Last time, I think we saw Clefable really emerge in the metagame and kind of be the top-level support was when it was so good at countering both dive compositions and poke compositions. That's where a lot of its stats had taken some recent changes, and it was really succeeding in that way. And now, into Inteleon, I do think having an answer to all that poke damage could be pretty great. Eldegoss's healing is just going to be a little bit slower on that Pollen Puff and a little more difficult to play around. Now that you got that Moonlight, that's a big amount of healing. Not in bursts, like you were mentioning, but at least you'll be able to kind of take these fights a little bit quicker.
No, but you are right, especially if you get even 2 of your allies hit with a snipe shot. A single Moonlight can recover all of that HP in some big ways. As we're heading into our next match here, it's going to be game number 2. You Need Coaching, your purple team. Orange Juicers up 1 game. Your orange team, again, these are your grand finals here in North America.
This feels like such an important game for You Need Coaching. I mean, doing some creative decisions with the support choices, taking away the enemy central area Pokemon. Feels like you're making a lot of bold claims in this draft that you are the better squad, and you had the momentum. It slipped away to the Orange Juicers. Now you need to really close out this game to take it back in your hands.
Looks like we're doing some inting for stacks here on the Clefable side. OG able to pick up a KO, but Garchomp not doing too bad here in the top path. You have Vin now, level 5 on the Alolan Raichu, making their way up top. Roland has that information, however. They got to see the move into the tall grass. Roland now moving down here, level 4. Interesting play. Maybe Roland didn't see this, or they're trying to pull them towards Kratos right now. They could be making a huge play, just trying to actually bait them into a fight, but it's not looking good for Kratos as they are caught by the Suicune.
Nasty. Okay, great work from that team to coordinate that. I think you're right. The bait play was on the table, but things go awry. Great use of that Suicune by Lutano. Leech Life going to bring up that HP a little bit as OG gets some heals. Yet another one as this match against Lutano is going to last a while. Buzzwole known for a war of attrition. Vin Diesel going to close the door on that option, though.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from You Need Coaching. I do think they were pulled into a fight by the Juicers, but it turns out it's a fight that they wanted to take and played it very well. There was that nice Dragon Rush that also repositioned a couple members of the Juicers right there. There it is again, bringing Flareons on over to the side of You Need Coaching.
One thing I'm really excited about this Garchomp pick is just the lack of crowd control on the other side. Buzzwole being, of course, the notable exception, but it is only running Leech Life. So not like it has that superpower for the really extended amount. Of course, Lapras's crowd control is more focused on starting team fights rather than ending them. So Garchomp will have a lot of room to work with, where normally this Pokemon has a trickier time outside of its Unite move, which of course it gets unstoppable with.
Got 3 members of the Juicers heading to the top path right now looking for a fight as we are taking a look at what's happening here in this bottom path. A KO streak of 2 in the top path where the Juicers are looking to fight here. But down in the bottom path, OG just putting some pressure on this goal zone.
Yeah, Uguay going to be hanging out within that tall grass, and it looks like these teams posturing. Now that we do have 3 team members rotating down here, it will be Uguay and Vin Diesel, the only 2 members left on the bottom side. Vin Diesel losing almost all their HP, and Uguay trying to follow up on that Talonflame.
Got Zugrug pushing them out a little bit right here. 8 seconds now until this first objective spawns in the top and bottom path. You've got a couple members of the Juicers here in the bottom path, the important one being the Talonflame that could rip through this very fast, and they are going on it right away. Brave Bird right into 2. Aerial Aces after the boosteds right there. Red Dice already at half zones.
Wow, okay, and the free Regieleki on the top side, kind of important because JL was also able to get some nice Moonlight stacks, or sorry, special attack stacks on that top side in that tier 2. Which, of course, will be helping that Moonlight a little bit later.
And here we go. We have them actually pushing forward with this Regieleki, but it looks like the Juicers just able to arrive in time to make sure that does not walk in. Brave Bird misses Lutano there due to a very well-timed eject button. The Unite move from Talon, possibly just to pull them away from it. We can see it is Gravity Clefable. So the plan, of course, is Talonflame lands, it lands into gravity, and it can't start dashing around this fight and making, you know, short work of the Unique coaching staff.
Yeah, we do get to witness a bit of the counterplay, though. As soon as you use that Unite move, it can pull you out of that gravity, so Kratos able to get back to safety, at least in that first engagement. Problem is, Unique Coaching is just taking a hold of this match in terms of scoreline. 156 points right now. They've already scored a little bit on that tier 2 with JL's support play, and they had that Regieleki earlier, but now they're going to poise for this big fight here.
And here we go. You can see Talon stuck in that gravity right there. There's just not much they can do, and they do go down to the Hyper Beam from Clefable. The snipe shots are landing into this group, but there's the Moonlight healing back all of that damage. We may have a really strong counter to what the Orange Juicers are trying to throw at them. Again, you see a Lowland Raichu chipped by a snipe shot. Moonlight brings back almost all of their HP.
It just allows them to take these fights so much quicker. We do have yet another attempt to isolate the Lapras for the rest of the team, but it is a bulky Pokemon in its own right, allowing it to get away. Lutano trying to dish out some of the same things it had to deal with in that game number 1 against Flareon, who this time has role swapped with Lutano onto that Inteleon.
So we're moving back and forth in the bottom path. Well, we have 3 members of the Juicers here in the top path, 1 member of Unique Coaching. Now, the nice thing is they have Hoopa. They can bring the team down. Nice big Brave Bird. They are caught in multiple ways, but Chisel goes down. 2 seconds now until Regieleki. They're going to score, then they're going to look for Regieleki, but we have the Hoopa portal. They might send everyone down to the bottom path here for this fight, and it looks like, yes, the entire team has moved down to the bottom path looking to fight.
All right, Uguay trying to keep up the offense for their team as Orange Juicers are trying to defend this tier 1. Block is going to give them a little bit more space, but the Heavy Slam, not enough to escape the Brave Bird. Kratos taking out that knockout and getting to level 12 with that one, I might mention. Machisel trying to get within range with that smackdown, keeping them away from that Regice. Unstoppable will get them closer thanks to that Livid Outrage. Will not secure the Regice, though. That one goes over to Kratos.
Beautiful stuff here. I mean, that Hoopa portal, just perfect timing right there. They're able to break that goal zone and move down for a fight. You know, Unique Coaching could think they were going to save someone in that top path. But look at this right here. The block pushing the team across. We have the Suicune with a beautiful freeze right there as the Buzzwole goes down. Talon now moving in, but stuck once again in the gravity. The Dragon Claw combo gets them, and they're going to continue pushing forward, whether it's the gravity or it's the Whirlpool Ice Beam, which is so unbelievably difficult for the Juicers to get out.
Wow, I think pre-nerf Suicune, that last boosted auto was taking out Hoopa in that situation, by the way. Just a little bit less uptime on that attack, and you were not going to be able to get that little frozen execute they were looking for. But either way, just another game, another situation where this Snorlax-Suicune duo looks phenomenal. You block them one direction, you soak them with that Whirlpool the other way, and freeze them in place. It's just such a difficult path to play against, and Unique Coaching play around it expertly.
Yeah, I think Talon just has such a tough job here, right? I mean, they have to deal with so many different ways that You Need Coaching can shut them down, whether it's the gravity, whether it's Snorlax, getting caught with that dragon combo, or of course, Suicune, just making so when you do land, you are frozen. Nice big snipe shot. Talon lands on a little bit of nothing, peeling back right here, getting frozen by Suicune. Both teams kind of just resetting, looking at each other between this Altaria.
Yeah, both these teams, again, like really playing into this front-to-back strategy. It's interesting to see Orange Juicers like kind of change up their rhetoric going into this game, but really trusting in Flareon's Inteleon in this matchup, and instead Kratos only diving in with these Brave Birds when they really feel a KO is available. Playing it extremely safe, and can you blame them? That Snorlax, Suicune, Gravity, Clefable, I mean, there's not a lot of great timings for this attack.
Nice big snipe shot, but going to get healed by the Moonlight right here. We have them possibly pushing forward, and it looks like Talon is looking for their moment. They move back in with a Brave Bird, but of course they land right into the gravity once again. Kratos just caught in the backside right there and goes down immediately. Now Rayquaza is on the map. We have the Orange Juicers running up towards this Ray fight, while multiple members of You Need Coaching are putting the pressure on right away.
All right, Uguay is in a position to cut them off. They will grab the Buzzwole. Super Swole Slam will get them out of danger for a moment, but it's the Inteleon to fall. Lutano takes out Flareon's. A major moment for this squad as You Need Coaching is putting on the pressure now. That's 3 members down, and all 5 members of UNC remain up. Zogrog spotted by a Rayquaza Twister. A little unlucky in that situation, but Suicune freezes and takes out the Ray.
Wow, I mean, it felt like there was absolutely nothing that the Juicers could do in that moment. They lost a Pokemon. You Need Coaching put the pressure on in a big way. We saw that Alolan Raichu unite, by the way. I mean, it just felt like it was ripping them to shreds in that big fight. Clefable scoring here, bringing it 363 to 126. Still a minute left, but the Juicers keep going down to this combination from coaching.
Yeah, You Need Coaching, their entire composition is built around forcing the enemy into unadvantageous situations, specifically just on the map. And the best news ever for Alolan Raichu is when they know the enemy team is forced within melee range of a specific target. That's where you put that giant star upon the ground, and you just damage farm from that point on. 40 seconds remain in this match, but it's all but over. You Need Coaching tying up our first best of 5 of the Grand Finals.
This feels like, you know, we talk, this term gets thrown around a lot, but this feels like an absolute draft diff right here. I feel like they just outdrafted the Juicers. Inteleon looked like a great answer into what they had, but with the healing from Moonlight and the fact that every time Talon wanted to dive in, it got punished, it just seemed like there was nothing the Juicers could do.
It looked like we didn't have enough of those trick saves that we have seen on Talonflame in the past. Just a great counter by You Need Coaching, shutting that down, and hey, a great answer. We are talking a lot about momentum in this series, and with that game win, You Need Coaching gonna be rallying.
And it's actually what they wanted for their first pick. Well, we're gonna find out how they want to play this here as we head into game number 3. All tied up now. Orange Juicers are gonna take that first pick. The bands are Talonflame, Blissey, interesting band, right?
Yeah.
Zacian, and finally, the Duck.
Okay, so hard callouts towards You Need Coaching, but I have to admit the Talonflame band seeming a little wild to me, but yet again, it is a swap of the sides. So Orange Juicers, unfortunately, are going to be on the purple side, but they will have that first pick, and it allows Flareons again to get that Suicune. Another stat within this set, I think Suicune's sitting at 100% win rate in our Grand Finals so far. So
Suicune is unbelievably good. I mean, it's just so hard to fight the amount of crowd control that this thing is able to dish out to your opponents. And, you know, a surprising amount of damage. It has a threshold for an execute KO. Right. So just a lot of really cool stuff. Kratos locking in the Alolan Raichu. Buzzwole for the Juicers, taken by OG. Next couple of picks over here to coaching.
I do like that Uguay does steal away the Snorlax, though. Taking away that crazy combo that's been kind of the story of the weekend for the bottom path, separating the Suicune and the Snorlax. They're going to take that one, and Lutano, again, on this Inteleon has been a game changer. And JL going to return to that Comfey. Probably going to be alongside the Gyarados for a lot of the fight, and whatever Vin Diesel ends up on, Won't be the Talonflame, could be the Leafeon again, but they've also showcased some interesting picks like Aegislash in the past.
Here we go, Vin hovering Leafeon right now and just locking it in right away. They know exactly what they want to bring into this match. We could be seeing another Sweet Kiss situation coming out from Jail. You know, this moveset was buffed a little while back, and the shield is very considerable right now. It's always been such an incredible move for disrupting your opponents. The greatest combo I feel like I've seen it on is just the Sweet Kiss right into the Sacred Sword Zacian.
Ooh,
that has been unbelievably powerful. However, still some great options here. I mean, pulling the enemies in so you can get them with the Dragon Breath. We've seen sort of that combination with Bounce from Gyarados, so there are definitely some great options with it still, but man, Sacred Sword felt insane.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like each region has kind of showcased a different Sweet Kiss Comfey partner to utilize. Like within this region, you just mentioned Aegislash being awesome. I think we've seen a lot of Gyarados from Unique Coaching. In OC, we were looking at some Metagross combinations. Was a really nice pair for that Sweet Kiss to increase that Gyro Ball consistency. And then in EU, I believe we saw some interesting stuff there. I know Mimikyu was kind of the age-old partner. We even saw some shades of Zeraora Comfey again, which was, of course, the niche play that it saw before any of these changes. Before Zera even saw those changes. So,
yeah, that was one of those cool combinations. I remember that popped up in UCS.
Yeah, with this hat and me telling that story, I do feel like a back in my day kind of sentence is happening at this moment, and I do feel old, but hey, I'm casting the younks, so feels all right.
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's a little no unite for old men out here, I think, is what we're... I remember when I saw Zeraora play with a Sweet Kiss Comfey. Sure you did, Zoinks.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the guys wearing gold.
There we go. As we head into our next game, Orange Juicers, your purple team. You need coaching, your orange team right here, all tied up.
Okay, so that's going to be Lutano and Uguay hanging out here in the bottom path, facing against Zugrug and Flareons. Two duos that I think worldwide are going to start to be studied and feared as we head towards those World Championships.
And we see this Gyarados. I mean, we saw such an incredible start here last time, and you could see how much more careful the Juicers played this, knowing the play they like to make, sending Leafeon up there very, very early to try to either get an assist or KO for Gary.
Yeah, it's so funny. I feel like into Gyarados and Buzzwole, we saw so much of the supports picking up that red buff in the past to really try to counter stack, but now that these Pokemon are starting to drop attack weight in favor of Excel Bracer, and Alolan Raichu loves the red buff, we're seeing that strategy kind of go by the wayside.
Oh, look at this fight right here. We do have the Sweet Kiss right away, bringing multiple members of the Juicers, and now we have Machisel looking to evolve early. They're trying to stop it there, but they cannot do it. We now have Gyarados on board as well.
Machisel caught the tough position there, almost completely feeling that effort gauge, but really needing to knock out a wild Pokemon to get the evolution, mostly just to survive. They were on such low HP. They were like, well, I either knock this Altaria out or I walk out of spawn. Those are my two options.
And now we have 3 members of coaching kind of assaulting that tier 1 gold zone. It's interesting. It's easy to forget that you're fighting 3 Pokemon when someone has Comfey on them, right? It's just like such a different look. Now we can see Machisel hanging on that top path. Ooh. Nice KO here in the bottom path as they are putting pressure on this tier 1 gold zone. 30 goes in. It looks like Joey able to stop the other 30 there from Flareon's. Big heavy slam, but still not able to fully stop this. There's no one else from coaching here to fight them.
Yeah, Kratos surfing all over this map, taking down a lot of points, and of course getting a few knockouts in that bottom side. But it's that top side for Unique Coaching that I feel like a lot of teams got to be looking out for. Vin Diesel and Machisel playing very close together within that early game, setting up for some big moments, specifically around these Reggies spawning in at 7.
Yeah, and we can see Lutano not yet level 7. They don't have Snipe Shot available, which would be huge for this fight. However, if they are able to secure some of this wild Pokemon experience, they will evolve right away. You can see if they can get that final hit, and they do. They now evolve into Inteleon, getting frozen right there. Sweet Kiss catching no one.
Yeah, Vin Diesel hoping for a flank onto that Suicune. Did not know Zugrug had such forward positioning on that top tall grass, kind of thwarted in that spot. But hey, another successful push for Alolan Raichu and Buzzwole on the top side. And of course, the Eldegoss as well. They will get a few scores in, and Orange Juicers racking up this score lead, 127 points now.
Yeah, Orange Juicers looking for this bottom path attack, but Vin Diesel moving on the top path. Huge Unite move right into a Sweet Kiss looking for the KO, and they get it. Grabbed by the Leech Life, however, but they are able to peel away from this. No real HP on their side, but the Comfey able to save them there with that shield. Gyarados now jumping in. Regieleki being ripped apart by coaching. After grabbing a berry, the Leafeon is back, and a good secure.
Yeah, great slow smoke by JL in that situation to kind of shut down a potential chase from OG. Obviously, Leech Life not having a lot of range, and now they're going to try to use it just to stay up in this defense, but that Inteleon will take the KO. Lutano, after getting so many of those snipe shots, just tries to get it done with an auto attack.
Yeah, really nice stuff there from Kratos moving up to support the squad, able to push this Regieleki out. No points go in. Juicers up 142-4. Feels a little different than some of our previous matches. Felt like You Need Coaching just had the score lead for a while here. This match looking very different. Bottom tier 1 goal zone gone already on the side of You Need Coaching, which does set up the Juicers to take that bottom Reggie here very soon. Obviously, without a tier 1 on their side, You Need Coaching is definitely at a disadvantage when it comes to fighting down at that bottom Reggie.
Yeah, Spragos, you had a great point a moment ago
Thank you
about
so much.
About how the support from the Alolan Raichu has been really fantastic, and I know we talk a whole lot about how Leafeon can clear that central so quickly and join these paths. When Alolan Raichu gets that stored power unlock, I feel like it's kind of the same case. The ability to move while farming is so powerful for that Pokemon. You can knock out some wild Pokemon, rotate up for a big team fight, as there is one happening in the top side right now. And Leafeon on a mad dash away. Uguay taking a lot of damage and a few stuns, but the grass not going to slow down Kratos for a moment.
Yeah, nice play right here by the Snorlax. Obviously, they saw that the Juicers might decide to actually push them back after that fight right there. Snorlax using the Unite move, just setting up a huge wall that they just did not want to deal with. Couldn't take enough HP away from it right here. Juicers not able to counterpunch after You Need Coaching pushes in the top path.
All right, Regieleki just 20 seconds away from spawning in. Both of these teams with only a few members. There'll be 4 from You Need Coaching, 3 from the Orange Juicers. But again, that Alolan Raichu, with that quick clear, will be joining the battle soon.
Yeah, and we can see the Juicers just getting themselves ready for this. Leafeon is ready. They have a Unite move. We have the Comfey, which could be used to great effect if they decide to dive in right here. They're looking to catch someone on the side of the Juicers. They don't catch much, however, because it's already gone.
All right, Snipe Shot going to be the final source of damage, but I mean, Snorlax, Leafeon, and Inteleon all combining for a great moment. Of course, set up by that Sweet Kiss. Uguay wants more, though. Just trying to buy a little bit of time at this moment, getting that huge shield thanks to the block for just for a moment, but Regieleki not farmed down quick enough for Inteleon or Leafeon to pick up the last hit.
And Buzzwole's back, ready for this fight. Missing in a big way, but there's a huge Leech Life as they move in. Buzzwole Unite move able to pick up the Leafeon. Regieleki not going down, didn't end up leashing. Lutano peeling away from the fight with its own Unite move. Buzzwole picks up a double KO with the Leech Life as they're going to continue chasing, and that's a Alolan Raichu that should pick up that KO on Intel. They do. 50 points in the top path. This is going to be a free Regieleki. And meanwhile, in the bottom path, Gary and Lapras have just been sort of dancing with each other for a while here. Now, Gyarados coming back to the bottom path possibly to clean up some experience, but Regirock all by its lonesome.
Another massive highlight reel play for Flareons with that Suicune Unite, the never-ending ice spikes, enabling a lot of great moments, specifically for the Buzzwole to kind of have freedom of movement around that top side. See, Orange Juicers just kind of chilling here, making us worried that there was something going on, but don't worry, they were just watching that Regieleki, see if they have the potential to push, and they are. They are going to go all in, trying to make sure this Regieleki can get into the goal zone, and only Uguay and Lutano to stop it, and it won't be enough. Regieleki, welcome into the tier 2.
Wow, what a great push there from the Juicers. 297, 111. Sure, they're giving up that bottom goal zone, maybe even that bottom Reggie, but the score lead is pretty intense right now. Regirock being ripped apart here by You Need Coaching. The Juicers are well aware that that was a very likely possibility once they sort of allowed You Need Coaching to think that they weren't pushing and then kind of made the sneaky play top. It looks like they were just hanging out just far enough away to make sure that You Need Coaching did not expect any of them were moving in there.
Yeah, stay out of vision as well. You Need Coaching does get a nice counterpunch, a big score on the bottom side, but also taking that Regirock a little bit later. Any of those Regi buffs do last for 90 seconds after knocking them out. Since it was at about 2.5 minutes, we're going to be looking at when there's only a minute left in the clock and when they actually lose that buff. So the defense buff will be around for quite some time, and with all those shields for UD Coaching. That is going to be a huge boon for them in this fight.
Yeah, that is going to be really nice for them. Then, of course, what's nice for the Juicers right here is they don't need to make a play at all. You see, you need Coaching all moving as a unit, looking to possibly get a sneaky score or catch someone from the side of Juicers here. Here they all are moving through this tall grass. Here they go, looking into Flareon's right now. Huge sweet kiss. They're looking for a catch. Massive snipe shot, and Flareon's goes down.
Wow, really tough spot for Flareons. Didn't even have a chance to use the Sweet Q Unite move, but honestly, maybe just wanted to hold on to it for a minute. That is a ton of damage. Buzzwole is going to need to Unite move, but when they land, there's nobody there for them to slam down upon, and Talion will take out that KO. Lutano's still at a full HP bar. Vin Diesel, the only one that's in rough shape. Snorlax just buying time around the top side. Cotton Cloud Crash is going to hold them down for a moment, but Rayquaza stopping rolling in their tracks.
Yeah, Rayquaza already at half HP and getting lower. Vin Diesel looking to possibly move for the secure. There's the big time bounce, and Gyarados gets it with a dry. No, it's Inteleon. Inteleon gets it. Of course, it's Lutano. I didn't realize he was near it. If Lutano was near it, he will secure. 297, 115. Definitely not over right now.
I love that rallying cry for the Unique Coaching team. Lutano is near, he will secure. And
Lutano is near it, he will secure. They're all chanting in their robes. We know what they do.
Exactly. Hey, and why not? With such an amazing performance at this point, they do knock out that Rayquaza, but they need to do a whole lot more. Only 40 seconds remain, and they do not have the lead yet. Lutano does have a full Rayquaza shield. I have to imagine it's the same story for Comfey, who is hiding beneath that Gyarados at the moment.
That's what I was wondering too. Does Comfey have it right now? If so, they're hanging out on Gary with as much time as they possibly can use to get there. These snipe shots are going to deal so much damage. Here we go. Sweet Kiss. Gyarados is moving in. Comfey did have the shield, and they're looking for it. They do score. 297, 251. We have another shield on Lutano as they're pushing towards this goal zone right now. The Sweet Kiss pulling them off. Lutano needs to score. The foul stinger. He jumps in, but he stopped. He stopped. Oh my gosh, they stopped
26
Lutano.
for Comfey.
Wait.
26 more points from Comfey. It was so extremely close, but JL somehow found a way to weave in a few more Eos energy into that goal zone. I know that Roland was attempting to score in the backside with Eldegoss.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Able to do it. A final score.
Look at how fun the set is.
Yeah, I can go like touch the screen if I wanted.
He could do it.
Oh,
Did he?
I won't do it.
He won't do it. He won't do it. Heading into our next draft right here, Juicers up one game right now, one game away from becoming the regional finals champions here in North America. No trophy, but don't tell Zugrug.
Whoa, you need coaching. Kind of predicting a maneuver by Orange Juicers, taking away that Sableye. They know Roland with a game advantage might be wanting to have a little bit of fun on the Thea Sky Ruins, shutting that down immediately. And another call-out ban. Vin Diesel not going to be able to play that Leafeon in our game number 4.
Did feel incredibly powerful, and it also enabled plays with Gyarados, right? Being able to run to the top path at level 4 was just so difficult to deal with. As we head over to the Juicers right here, couple of picks. I don't think you're seeing Gengar Zoinks, but I mean, look, if it happened, I'd be shocked. Here's Zugrug locking in that Lapras and OG with Zashi.
Say when a heart breaks, it does not break even, unfortunately. Kratos, just heartbreaker. But that's all right. Unique Coaching can make up for it with some fun picks. It will be a Gyarados, will not be a Meowscarada, but that's all right. Machisel's Gyarados has been making up for it in the entertainment value. Been so fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Machisel, I feel like, has been pretty incredible on Gary throughout this tournament here. You know, the teams that get Suicune seem to do very, very well. That is Lutano right now. We're going to see what Flareons wants to play here very soon as we're locking in the Alolan Raichu, Roland, hovering, and locking in Eldegoss.
Now, it could be the Inteleon, which we've seen before, but take a look at the composition of Unique Coaching. This double dive, and I was just going to say, this counter dive strategy has been popping up for Flareons, and they're going to lock it in again. A bit of a variation on the Ice Lane with the Lapras and Alolan Ninetales, a few different freezing effects between the two of them, but it will be kind of that big push, get away from me option, the Alolan Ninetales.
Yeah, we've got a very Alolan squad here for the Juicers.
Wow,
Raichu and Ninetales for the side of the Juicers. You need coaching also with some freeze opportunities themselves with Suicune on their side. Vin, I mean, he's got an interesting job. He's going to be able to dive in with Talon, but if he gets caught with a Blizzard Avalanche, that could be all she wrote as soon as that Talonflame, Brave Bird, or flies in.
Yeah, it's a tricky option. We talked about it with Mimikyu, I think earlier was the matchup that we were discussing with the Alolan Ninetales, but now it's going to be Talonflame in the mix as well. Good news though, JL will have that Hoopa to provide the Phantom Force trick kind of escape route for the Talonflame, but what we've seen it used most phenomenally with so far this tournament is with the defenders or with the brawlers. So I think Gyarados and Snorlax to be getting the lion's share of those trick combos.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they're going to run that. Obviously, we saw Hoopa on the side of the Juicers earlier not get much value at all, and I think it was because of that Gravity Clefable. Now there really isn't that threat, except we do have an attacker threat, which is if you land near us, we will catch you with this massively powerful Blizzard Avalanche.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and one thing we need to remember from last game, Lutano is near, he will secure.
Lutano is near, he will secure. Lutano is near, he will secure.
secure.
You need coaching, your purple team. Orange Juicers, your orange team. This could be your last game of our grand finals here, the regional finals in North America.
So far, every one of our best of five, oh, actually, no, the last best of five did end in that 3-1 completion, but now we're looking for You Need Coaching to rally back. Orange Juicers looking to close this thing out.
And we see Uguay just getting pushed back a little bit right here. Nice secures on the side of You Need Coaching. Already 11 Eos energy for Lutano, so they did very well in that bottom path.
Yeah, great early push there, and now we're looking for the same on the top side. OG just getting in some early damage, but Chisel having to play it very, very safe on this Magikarp. Even with that Alolan Raichu not being a dive threat, you still got to give it a lot of respect in that early game.
And we got an interesting play here. We are sending Magikarp down to the bottom path right now to possibly try to win a fight here. Maybe something unexpected for the Juicers. They're peeling back. It's almost as if they know what's about to happen, playing very far back with the Lapras right now. Kratos does make it to the bottom path as well. Talonflame jumping in, but not able to make anything happen right there. Lutano in a lot of trouble and goes down.
Wow, what good coordination by Orange Juicers. You called it exactly. They get wise to the tricks of You Need Coaching and rotate immediately to counter. We do have a Chisel, not even all, like 90% on the effort gauge, far from it actually. Gonna need to retreat, and a ton of scores go in for Orange Juicers.
Yeah, really nice stuff there for the Juicers. Very heads-up play, and you could see they could tell something was wrong in this moment. They just did not see the members of coaching they expected. They sniffed out the trap right there and reacted to it very well.
That's what experience and old age will get you. Just those instincts for the youngs.
That's right. It's like the plot of Big Dogs. Was it Big Dogs? Old Dogs. Get Doomstacks in here.
I think it was Reservoir.
Yep. It's a Is it Reservoir Dogs? I doubt it.
And Legendary V. We'll move on past that one. Okay, so far Orange.
Zoinks canceled his own bit, just so we're clear. He wouldn't continue.
Yeah, we all have. All right, Flareon's, caught in that Whirlpool, make it far enough away to avoid the freezing effect from Lutano. It's so scary. As soon as you're stuck in place, it feels like that Talonflame is going to be jumping on you immediately. Machisel caught in a bad spot, but that's what Waterfall is for, giving you a ton of space and movement, and Trick, just the cherry on top there.
Yeah, Trick with a nice shield. If you can hit with a couple hits of the Waterfall too, you generate your own shield, which is pretty impressive. OG not able to pick up a KO right here, as we are seeing Talonflame jump in this moment. We could see Roland peeling back as they are getting ready to possibly fight here, but moving away.
All right, well, the rematch going to be setting up pretty soon, and now Zacian dealing a little bit of damage into that wild Pokemon. It's now Reggie Alecki going to be spawning in. Machisel in prime position to start taking it down, but they know that OG is not rotated too far. They're going to play it pretty safe as two members from You Need Coaching clearing their central area.
And we can see Flareon's ready here for this Registeel. Lutano as well ready. A couple of Pokemon that could freeze you right here. The Whirlpool moving in. The Avalanche Blizzard combo. We have Talonflame ready to go, looking for their moment. They crash land, but they miss right into the combo, but they don't get caught by it. Talonflame with the Flame Sweep peels multiple members of Orange Juicers away, but they peel back from this fight. Registeel now leashing Vin Diesel, full HP almost on this Talon, ready to go with Trick Hoopa. They fly back in towards Zugrug looking for the KO, but they're being picked up here by the Bubble Beam. Registeel right now being ripped apart, and somehow the Juicers in and out and finally securing.
Great situational awareness from the Orange Juicers that entire time. Alolan Raichu just out of range, or having the ability to dodge the Brave Bird at any given moment. And when finally Vin Diesel feels like they have a plan of attack, all they can land on is that Lapras. Water Pulse, Bubble Beam, giving Zugrug enough sustain to live through that fight, not to mention knocking up the Talonflame on the other side. Great play by OJ.
Here we go to the top path right here. We can see Talonflame diving in, seeing if they can get a play onto OG right here, but no, getting punished for it immediately into the play rough, and Sacred Sword shutting down Talon.
All right, back-to-back plays from Vin Diesel. We're diving in pretty deep on the Talonflame and not getting anything for it. They might need a bit more backup from the rest of the squad. We're going to zoom out, take a look at this Regieleki, but Chisel getting in range, and they will take down that Regieleki as it walks towards that goal zone.
That's right, and here comes the Gyarados weaving in and out with Waterfall. Talonflame crashing in. The Flame Sweep misses the Juicers right here, and it looks like they have a good opportunity to stop this engagement. No, I was going to say Talon moving back in, but using that Phantom Force to peel right back out of the fight.
They got a whole lot of damage. I think they hit all 4 members with that single Brave Bird, too. Not only a ton of damage, but of course, that damage reduction the other direction. But the Trick Hoopa going to bring him back to safety. The Chisel takes a whole lot of damage up front from that Zacian, enough that OG feels confident enough to pull the trigger on that Sovereign Sword, taking down a few targets. That's a goal zone broken for Orange Juicers, and they are in the driver's seat of this one.
Yeah, Juicers looking pretty good right here. 195 to 0 as they're continuing this push in this bottom path right here. With both of these goal zones up, Zoinks, what you're just seeing is these two teams spending all their time they possibly can in the bottom path trying to out-secure their opponents.
Yeah, it has been awesome. Okay, well, now Orange Juicers going to keep that defense up. It has been the flawless part of their game plan so far. So they're going to try to hold on to that. We do have You Need Coaching looking for an angle. And so far, Uguay has not been able to land these heavy slam block combos that we've seen in games prior. Maybe that could change around this Regirock as they do have first position around it.
It's really nice stuff from You Need Coaching right here. We have Lapras scoring in the top path, but that sets up this Snorlax to move in with no defender on the side of the Juicers. Huge secure opportunity, and it is secured by the Alola Ninetales.
Wow, ridiculous. I believe that was the Snow Globe Unite to actually secure.
Whoa.
That coverage from Lutano. Whoa, nice dodge as well. Will get hit for the second instance of Zogrug's Lapras Express, and actually likely going to be KO'd. Kratos on this Alolan Raichu, almost at level 14, by the way, at 330, is going to be able to dodge away from this fight. Machisel doesn't want to make it too easy, but also cannot reach them with the Dragon Current.
Yeah, Machisel not able to make anything happen right there. Only level 10 also, so they can't really brawl with this Zacian at all. 2 levels above them. Right now, 242 to 0. I mean, absolute control from the Juicers. They even let their Lapras peel away from this fight, and they still got it.
Man, You Need Coaching. A minute away from the final stretch and not a single point of Eos energy deposited. This is so tough, and what a lockdown from Orange Juicers up until this point. Zogrug having just a ton of HP and shields. They can face check absolutely anyone on that Unk side.
Yeah, and you can see they still have a goal zone in this bottom path on the side of Coaching as well, which opens up another scoring opportunity for the Juicers. Regieleki just sitting in that top path. It looks like 2 members of the Juicers are deciding to walk their way up, probably taking every bit of experience along the way, while the teams are just sort of fighting each other back and forth in this bottom path. Of course, the Juicers taking every opportunity to have someone peel away and score in some of these big moments. OG just picking up some Eos energy that dropped on the ground right there as Regieleki is walking.
Yeah, You Need Coaching has had to kind of chill out a minute, take a back seat, and allow their flying types to get as much experience as they possibly can. Both Gyarados and Talonflame severely underleveled until moments ago, have at least gotten to get to the level 12 breakpoint for Gyarados. Talonflame does arrive at level 13. They're actually going to try a push onto this goal zone. OG's going to be quick with the defense. Lutano tries to set up a freeze, but it won't be good enough. Final stretch has begun, and no scores into that tier 1.
And here come the Juicers. They're making their way up to the top path. Big time play rough. Catches the Snorlax. Snorlax right into the Unite move. They're getting pushed back the other way. The Brave Bird catches 1, catches 2. Snorlax. Now the Flame Sweep pushes another member of the Juicers out of this fight. And another goes down. Talon going down on the side of You Need Coaching. That's 1 for You Need Coaching, 2 for the Juicers. Huge Unite move from Gyarados. Gets 2, knocks them into the air, and they are down. 4 members of the Juicers are down, and You Need Coaching is fighting. They are not giving their tournament up just yet.
What a rally back from You Need Coaching. Zogro going to try to put some insurance points on this bottom tier 1, but that is going to be a 5-member You Need Coaching Rayquaza Shield package, as every single one of them will be boasting when they do have full points of 50 in pocket, but they have to get up to the scoreline of 330 and more.
And here they come, looking to score in this Tier 1 goal zone. It's going to happen. It looks like Gyarados puts the points in. Points still on Hoopa. 3 shields remain. We can see Vin Diesel does not have a shield. 100 to 330 with a minute on the clock. The tournament is on the line for You Need Coaching, but they have plenty of Ray shields. Big time Alolan Raichu Unite move defends at the goal zone.
Okay, nice bit of poke damage, but great call by Unique
Whoa!
to immediately bail. 96 more points from the Lapras into the back line. Things just got even more desperate for Unique Coaching. They got to go all in on this attack. It's tier number 1 will be scored on. 100 points now going to be going in. They're going to try to rally in towards this tier 2. A Hundro Burger again, 332 to 426. They got to take it all the way to the home goal zone if they want to save their tournament.
Snorlax can move in. It has a shield. It's broken. It just got broken by the Zacian. I don't know if they have another Pokemon with enough AO synergy to move in. We have Gyarados using their Unite move, knocking them up. Snorlax is moving in to try to score, but without the Ray Shield, it doesn't look like they can do it. Hoopa scores the top. 62 from Talonflame. More points right in. Can Machisel score in this moment? No, they cannot. 10 from Suicune.
12 more from Talon. 12 more from Talon going
Where
in
does
the
it put
final
them?
moments. We got to take a look at the actual score lead, but it's just going to be on us.
Please,
This
don't
is how
show us.
surprised we are.
Yeah.
Thank you for going to the
Yes.
score.
Whoa! It's a tie game!
Oh my God!
It's a tie game!
tie
Who hit
game!
it? Juicers hit it first, right?
Juicers get to the
Juicers hit it
Brinkford
first. Juicers win on a tie, right?
Oh my
Because
word!
they
my
hit it
glasses
first.
falling off. I believe so. We need to see the stat screen.
It's
Orange
official.
Juicers win!
The Juicers
Orange
win!
Juicers win!
Wow! How did